Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, இது வரைக்கும் நம்ம வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா we have seen என்னென்ன டாபிக்ஸ் பார்த்துருக்கோம்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா introduction. Number 2, okay. ஒரு நிமிஷம். Okay, number 1 வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா introduction. Number 2 வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா registration. Number 3 வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா tax invoice, debit note. Next வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா credit note. Number 4 வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா like payment of tax. Number 5, accounts and records. So up to this we have completed. So இதெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ப்ரீவியஸ் இதில் வீடியோஸில் இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ எதுக்காக இதை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம பார்த்தோம் பிஃபோர் தெர் இஸ் சப்ளை லெவி கலெக்ஷன் இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கறதுக்கு முன்னாடி என்னன்னா பிகாஸ் வி ஹேவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த பேசிக் சினாரியோஸ். ஓகே, இதெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இட் ஹஸ் பீன் லிங்க் வித் திஸ் பர்டிகுலர் டாபிக். ஓகேவா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா லெவி. Okay, that is we just going to see certain topics. Okay, now we just going to see section 7, section 8, section 9, section 10, section 11. So section 7 பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா scope of supply. Section 8 பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா mixed and composite supply. Section 9 பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் levy. Okay, levy subject to forward charge, levy subject to reverse charge. Okay, levy subject to reverse charge. Section 10 பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா composition levy. Okay, section 11 பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் exemption supplies. Okay, so these are the topic we just going to see. Okay, so இதுக்கு அடுத்தது வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது வந்து levy and correctionல இருக்கிற chapters. Next வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா we just going to see time of supply, place of supply. Next வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா value of supply. Okay, time of supply, place of supply, value of supply sections later பார்க்கலாம். Next வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ITC, input tax credit. ஓகேவா, ஸோ இது எல்லாத்தையும் பார்க்கறதுக்கு முன்னாடி why we are seeing registered person na, because a registered person only is there is who is when he is liable for registration, those things are not we have seen, but we now we understand who is who going to register, when he going to register, and other scenarios. Now we going to understand only a registered person. Okay, if you made a supply subject to section 7, then he shall be levied under section 7 or 8. Okay, levied under section 7 or 8 or 9. Okay, that is subject to section 7 or 8. Okay, then he shall be levied under section 9, 10 or 11. Okay, so under this topic we are talking about two scenarios. One வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா outward supply பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். Okay, we just going to see outward supply also. Okay, we also seen about inward supply, outward supply and inward supply. So in the base we have been understanding these things. Okay, because when you're making an outward supply, you should raise what? Taxable invoice. You should raise what? Taxable invoice. Okay, in that cases we also see bill of supply. Bill of supply are raised from the composition levy person and in the exemption supply persons. Okay, when these two persons, okay, they raising, okay, any bill, okay, any, that is when they provide any services or when they're providing any supply. Okay, in such cases, if they are subject to section 10 and section 11, okay, then they should provide bill of supply and not taxable invoice. Okay, and not taxable invoice. Okay, so a section 9 la பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, okay, section 9 la பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, if a person subject to forward charge, he shall raise what? Taxable invoice. If a person subject to forward charge, he shall raise what? Taxable invoice. Same scenario, if a person who is subject to reverse charge, okay, he will raise payment voucher. He will raise what? Payment voucher. Okay, if a person who is subject to reverse charge, then he will raise what? Payment voucher. So in the payment voucher na enna, okay, in the forward charge na enna, and the topics we have been studying in tax invoice, debit note, credit note, etc., etc. We have seen that. Okay, next. Now we are understanding payment of tax, accounts and records. Now we understand what payment of tax, accounts and records. Why before that we have seen this scenario in the sense, okay, relevant documents which has been required for what? Payment of tax. There is a relevant document which has been required for, there is when you are said to be a registered person, then what are the documents you have to maintain? Okay, for composition levy, what are the documents should be maintained? Those details we have seen already. Now we are not going to see in depth in that particular topic. Okay, so next, okay, next we are just going to see, okay, number 2 on the we're just going to see, okay, one second, right, for regular levy and composition levy, we have seen the differences in with regards to the tax invoice, with regards to the bill of supply, okay, and other scenarios we have seen. Now we just go. That is the reason we have been understanding all this concept in this particular scenarios. Then why we understand payment of tax? How the tax will be paid, what basis it has been paid, how it has been adjusted. ITC can be that is when you are talking about ITC, that time you will be understanding about the electronic credit ledger. Okay, in the net tax payable, when you are just debiting to your, there is what electronic liability ledger, and it has been paid through electronic cash ledger. Okay, and we are understanding the importance of cash ledger, we are understanding the importance of credit ledger, and also we are understanding the importance of what that liabilities ledger. In addition, also we also understand how the adjustment shall be made, how the adjustment shall be made. We are just seeing the overview. Okay, now we're just going to see in depth. Okay, when you're seeing ITC, we'll see what is eligible, what is not eligible. Okay, what are the things which has been blocked, and other credits which has been, there is other scenarios we'll be seeing this particular topic. Okay, so this is a flow we're just going through. That's the reason I'm just going through like introduction, registration, tax invoice, debit note, credit note, payment of tax, accounts and records. Okay, in such way, right? Now, now in this topic, okay, so we are going to see which topic, section 7 and section 8. Section 7 scope of supply. Section 7 in a scope of supply. Section 8 composite supply and mixed supply. First we'll just complete this two topic. Okay, then only just going to move forward to levy topic. Okay, so for taxable event, when you're saying as a taxable event, okay, like in case of income tax, taxable event is nothing but income. Taxable event is nothing but income. In case of GST, taxable event is nothing but supply. Okay, if they are supply, then only it is taxable. Then only it is considered as taxable event. Okay, whether it is taxable supply or non-taxable supply, we'll see later based on the notification, based on the exemption order, other scenarios we'll see later. Okay, but here, when there is a supply only, then the GST will be leviable. GST will be leviable. Otherwise, it shall not be leviable. Okay, otherwise it shall not be leviable. Okay, for example, in the supply பார்க்க சொல்ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க how there is supply என்றது, now we are just reading only the topic called as supply. We are not going through any other topic. Okay, whether it is a supply or not a supply. Okay, so for example, இப்போ எப்படி உங்களோட எக்ஸாமுக்கு வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்போதைக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் என்ன, இன்டர்ல பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 4 சப்ஜெக்ட், there is group 1ல and group 2ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 4 சப்ஜெக்ட், டோட்டலா 8 சப்ஜெக்ட்னா அந்த 8 சப்ஜெக்ட் is your scope. You will not go beyond your scope. You will not go beyond your scope. The same scenarios we just going to see in section 7. The same scenario like scope of supply. Okay, scope of supply. What are the things which has been comes under this particular scope of supply? Okay, those scenarios we'll be seeing in this scope of supply, right? So section 7 எப்படி differentiate பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னா, okay, number 1, form of supply. First one in a form of supply. It will comes into this form of supply. Either it might be a goods or either it might be a services. Okay, right? So supply in it can be in two scenarios. One, goods Another thing is services. Okay, because supply is a taxable event. Okay, under this supply of goods or supply of services. Okay, earlier act, okay, when it talks about earlier act, if it talks about excise, if it talks about service tax, if it talks about VAT, okay, when it talks about excise, okay, it should be excisable goods. It should be excisable goods. That means what? It should be a movable goods. First, it should be a goods. Number two, movable goods. Next one, marketable goods. Next one, it should be excisable goods. Excisable goods, it should be, that is, it should come in CETA. CETA under the Central Excise Tariff Act. Okay. Unless, if otherwise, if it is not comes in Tariff Act, okay, it is not called as excise good. Unless if it is not comes under CETA, it is not called as excise good, even if it satisfies all this condition. Same scenarios, okay, if it is subject to services, okay, services which are listed in the service tax, services which are listed in the service tax, if it is comes into that services, then only it is taxable, otherwise it is not taxable. VAT also it is subject to goods. Goods should be a movable goods, okay. Goods should be a movable goods, okay. If it is non-movable goods, then it is not considered as goods and which is not taxable under VAT, okay, which is not taxable under VAT. So these are the scenarios we have seen under that particular topic. Okay, so this is a scenario which has been there in under a particular topic. Now we just going to see only, okay, only the word called as supply. Only the word called as what? Supply. Supply means what? It might be either by way of goods or it might be either by way of services. Okay, either by way of goods or either by way of services. So here in the goods or services, okay, there are section 7, 1, okay, section 7, 2, section 7, 3, okay, next one, section section 7, 1, okay, A, 7, 1, B, 7, 1, C, and 7, 1, D. The D வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இப்போதைக்கு omit பண்ணிட்டாங்க. Now it is comes to section, okay, 7, 1, A. Okay, 1 capital A அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு செக்ஷன் கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. ஓகேவா? சோ என்ன இதுன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஓகே, so section 7(1)A சொல்றது என்னன்னா form of supply. Okay, you have a goods or services, okay, but this form will also consider as supply. Okay, so in either it might be by way of sale, or either it might be by way of transfer, or either it might be by way of barter, or either it might be by way of exchange, okay, or either it might be by way of license or rental, okay, or what? Rental. Next one by way of lease or disposal, okay, or disposal. So this any form, okay, any form by this method, okay, any form by this method. In addition to that, we're just going to see later this sections. In addition to that, okay, section 7(1)A மட்டும் தான் பார்க்கிறோம். In addition to that, okay, it should be made for consideration. This it should be made for a consideration. It should be made for consideration, right? Number 2. So number 2, it should be made for consideration. Number 2, it should be done by a person in a course or furtherance to the business. Furtherance to the business. Furtherance to the business. That means what? So here it is 2 scenarios. Number 1, pathina, okay, there should be a supply. Number 2, okay, in any form of supply. Number 2, it should be received by way of consideration. It should be received by way of consideration. Number 3, there should be a course or furtherance to the business. Course or furtherance to the business. Okay, we're just going to see this topic. Okay, in subsequent scenario. First, we'll understand provision, then we'll come back one by one. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, 7(1)B. Okay, they use the word import of services. Where what? Import of services. Whether, okay, import of services. Addition to that, you have received the consideration. You have received what? Consideration. Import of services. I am using the word import of services and consideration. Because import of goods, it is subject to IGST, that it is taxable, that we'll see later. But here, import of services will also subject to supply if it is received by way of consideration, whether it has been used for business, okay, whether it has been used or not used for business. Okay, that is whether it is in the course or furtherance, whether or not in the course or furtherance for the business or not. Okay, so here that means what? There is a import of services. There is a import of services plus there is a consideration. Okay, plus na condition madri. Okay, plus na and condition madri. So there is an import of services and there is a consideration. But here they're saying or. Okay, whether it is furtherance to the business or not furtherance to the business. Whether it is furtherance to the business or not furtherance to the business. Okay, in any scenarios. Okay, so in any scenarios, okay, it is subject to what comes under scope of supply. It is also called as what? Scope of supply. That we'll just see in depth. Okay, that's we'll see in depth. Okay, one by one example we'll see. Okay, so we'll just go through that. Next, number 3, section 7(1)(c). Section 7(1)(c). Okay, so activities specified in schedule 1. Activities specified in schedule 1. Which is going to see what is schedule 1. Okay, so here they're saying that whether it is with or without consideration, without consideration, still it is regarded as supply. Still it is regarded as supply. Okay, so in this case, what they're trying to explain, schedule 1. Addition to that, they're talking about with or without consideration. If there is no, there is, which is going to see later. If there is no consideration, no supply. Okay, but here under 7(1)(c), they're saying that if there is a consideration, there is without consideration also, it is called as what? Supply. That we're just going to see later. Okay, next. Okay, earlier 7(1)(d), what they're trying to explain in the sense, okay, certain activities, okay, will be treated as supply of goods or services under schedule 2, which has been referred under schedule 2. அது என்ன பண்ணிட்டேன்னா அது சின்ன ஒரு சேஞ்சஸ் மாதிரி. ஓகே, இங்க என்ன சொல்லிட்டேன்னா certain activities constitute a supply, okay, in accordance with section 7(1), that is subject to all section. Okay, they will be either treated as supply of goods or they will be treated as supply of services. Either they will be treated as supply of goods or supply of services, which has been referred in schedule 2. Schedule 2. Okay, what is the schedule 2? What is the schedule 1? Okay, these are the scenarios we're just going to see. Okay, right. Next, okay, there are section 7(2), okay, and 7(3). 7(2) பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, okay, that is they're saying that is the central government of India on the recommendation of GST notified that the following activities of the transaction undertaken by the state government, okay, it can be neither, that is if it is engaged, that is the central government may notify, okay, certain activities, neither it is a goods nor it is a service. It is a services. Okay, that we're just going to see later. Okay, so these are the scenarios. Next one, 7(1)(3), that we'll see later. First one 7(1) முடிச்சுக்கலாம். Next 7(1)(2) முடிச்சுக்கலாம். Sorry, 7(2) முடிச்சுக்கலாம். Next 7(3) முடிச்சுக்கலாம். So that we'll just complete this complete scenario in this particular scenario. Okay, right. Now, okay, before going to section 7(1), A, B, C and D, we'll try to understand number 1. We'll try to understand what? Number one. When you call as a supply, okay, when you call as a supply, subject to section 7(1)(a), number one. When you call as a supply, number one, patana, okay, there should be a supply. There should be a supply. It might be either by way of goods, or it might be either by way of services, or either it might be goods or services, or goods and services. Okay, so this is number one. Number two, in addition to that, there should be a consideration. There should be a consideration. Okay, you should have consideration. If there is no supply, so if there is no such scenario, if there is no goods or services, then it is not called as what? Supply. If there is no consideration, then it is also not considered as supply. Number three, if it is furtherance to the business or in the course to the business, okay, which is relevance to my business, then it is called a supply. Otherwise, it is not called as what? Supply. And such supply should be a taxable supply. Such supply should be a taxable supply. Okay, such supply should be a taxable supply and should be made. Okay, it should be made within taxable territory. It should be made within taxable territory. If all these conditions satisfy, then it is called as what? Supply. But this has been overridden by, okay, without, even though there is no consideration, even though there is a no furtherance to the business, still it is regarded as supply. Number one, if they're doing import of services, whether or not, okay, whether or not, if it is furtherance to the business or not furtherance to the business, okay, even for example, okay, for my house, I'm doing some installation charge services. Okay, it is not related to my business. Where I just getting some interior designer from Australia. He coming to my place. Okay, whether that is regarded as supply or not regarded as supply, it is regarded as supply. That's the reason non-resident taxable person has born. Okay, so in the non-resident taxable person, under it is regarded as supply. He has to register for temporary basis, and he has to pay the tax in temporary basis, and is liable for pay tax under such scenarios. Okay, so this is scenarios where import of services. Okay, even though there is no furtherance to the business or not in the course of business, still it is regarded as supply. Number one. This is number two. Number three. If they are subject to Schedule 1, if they are subject to Schedule 1, if they are subject to Schedule 1, okay, whether there is with or without consideration, with or without consideration. Okay, they're not talking about consideration because here consideration is relevance. If there is a consideration, then it is liable for tax. If consideration is not there, okay, it is not liable for tax. Okay, it is not subject to levy. But if it is mentioned in Schedule 1, which is going to see what is Schedule 1, then it should be levy. That is a supply. That is, it should be considered as taxable event. Okay, it should be considered as taxable event. It comes in the scope of supply. It will comes in the scope of supply. Even there is no consideration, it is regarded as supply. Even though there is consideration, it is regarded as supply. Right. Next, certain activities which has been mentioned in Schedule 2. Certain activities which has been mentioned in Schedule 2. It has been clearly defined that it is regarded as supply of goods or supply of services. Okay, they clearly mentioned in Schedule 2. Okay, for example, restaurant services. Okay, restaurant services provide food. Food in the sense, it also install goods as well as services. But here under Schedule 2, they're saying that it is a composition supply. Okay, where it is subject to services. Okay, where it is subject to services, it is subject to Schedule 2. It is stated as services. In restaurant business shall be considered as services, and it should not be considered as goods. It should not be considered as goods. Okay, so restaurant business shall be considered as services, and it is not considered as goods. Okay, then in case of construction services, okay, that is also said to be a, so that is also called as what? Services. It is not called as goods. It is not called as goods because even there is a work contract, they supply goods as well as supply of services. For example, goods for the cement, okay, or material, etc., etc. If they supply with cement, etc., etc., in addition to that, they also charging for the labor in total. Okay, it is not called as goods. It is called as what? Services. It is called as what? Services. Okay, this all details which has been mentioned in Schedule 2 that will explain in later point of view. Right. So now, okay, so this all thing which has been covered under section 7(1)(a), 7(1)(b), 7(1)(c), 71D. Okay, so 71D. Now 71D it has been converted into 71A. Okay, capital A. 71 capital A. Okay, right. So 71A first one பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது பார்த்துக்கலாம். 71A ல வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மொத்தம் மூணு விஷயத்தை டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. ஒன்று வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் சப்ளை, நம்பர் டூ வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கன்சிடரேஷன், நம்பர் த்ரீ வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா okay furtherance to the business, furtherance or there is in course or furtherance to the business. They're talking about three topics. Okay, so form of supply என்ன சொல்றாங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா sale, number two barter, number three transfer, number four like license, number five rental, number six lease, number seven disposal. Okay, so everything will be called as form of supply. Everything called as what? Form of supply. For example, first one is sale. You are going to shop directly and you're buying from the shop, you're purchasing any items. Okay, so they are transfer the title and you purchased. Okay, you paid some consideration. Okay, and it is furtherance to the business. So here the sale has been happened, hence it is regarded as supply. Number one. Number two, barter. Okay, number two, what? Barter. So you are providing one services. Okay, he providing one supply. Okay, Mr. A provide one supply to this person, Mr. B provide another supply to this person. Okay, in such cases, okay, what are the value which has been determined for this particular scenarios? For example, A supply goods of goods value 25,000 now. Okay, for A to B it is one supply and B to C is another supply. Okay, so A to B one supply and B to C, B to A also one type of supply. Okay, this both are called as what? Supply. Okay, this both are called as what? Supply, because each is providing one services, that person is providing one supply. Okay, so both are called as what? Supply. Number three, understand வெறும் supply னா என்னன்றதை பார்க்கணும், taxable non taxable பார்க்கல, register non register பத்தி பார்க்கல, we understand only supply. Okay, supply concept மட்டும். Number three, exchange. For example, I'm having a laptop. Okay, I'm going to purchase a new laptop. Okay, from Mr. A. Okay, B is purchasing laptop. Okay, from A. So B is giving the laptop. Okay, so the laptop cost is 4,000. Here the original cost of laptop is 24,000. So what B will pay as a consideration for the 20,000. B will pay how much? 20,000. But here the transaction both are called as what? Supply. A to B is called as supply. So B to A also called as what? Supply. Okay, register not register அதெல்லாம் நம்ம latest casesல பாத்துக்கலாம். So here both the scenarios is also called as what? Supply. That means what? A to B ஓல மொத்தம் 24,000. Okay, B to A வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா like 4,000. Okay, this is called as what? Another supply. Right. Next, license. Next on the license. For example, I have an intangible assets. Okay, I'm saying that my video example at the club. Okay, I'm saying that it is an intangible assets. Okay, if anyone want this video, okay, how to get the license to use. Okay, for example, Tally. Okay, for using the Tally. Okay, for using the Tally. Okay, so you need to get a license for such period. Okay, for such period. Okay, in such scenarios, license போடுறதுக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, okay, so license போடுறதுக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, I'm using such immovable property or movable property, whatever the case may be. Okay, in such scenarios, using of such licenses subject to supply. Using of that license, okay, right to use. Okay, right to use or whatever, right to use or right to do. Okay, everything will be called as what? Will come to the scope of supply. Right. Next, if it's think about lease, okay, I'm saying that I'm going to occupy your property. Going to occupy your property. I need 5 years lease. Okay, that lease amount which has been paid, whether it is regarded as supply, yes, it is regarded as supply. Okay, so that lease agreement also will be called as what? supply. Right. Next, in such, okay, this is as supply. Clear? So now this is all about what? Form of supply. I think so you understand the form of supply, right? Now we just going to understand, okay, second scenario is nothing but consideration. Second scenario, what? Consideration. What do you mean by consideration? Okay, consideration either in monetary or non-monetary, both are called as what? Consideration. Both are called as what? Consideration. I already said an example, A to B. Okay, so B to A. Okay, so he exchanged the product laptop cost of rupees 4,000, but A to B வந்து 24,000. So B வந்து பார்த்தா எவ்வளவு மானிட்டரியா பே பண்றான் பார்த்தா he will pay 20,000, non monetary எவ்வளவு பார்த்தா 4,000. So the total consideration value is nothing but 24,000. Total consideration value is nothing but 24,000. Okay, so you cannot say it is only 20,000. You should say 20,000 plus 4,000, 24,000. Both shall be considered for the purpose of consideration. Okay, so here both are shall be included. Right. Next top. Next one, furtherance to the business. Furtherance to the business. Okay, it should be used in the course of business. For example, so Mr. A, okay, purchased an AC, okay, and installed in office. Installed in office for official purpose. Okay, whether it is furtherance to the business, yes, it is a furtherance to the business, because in my, if I put AC, people are working in my office. Okay, they can enjoy without sophisticated. Okay, so they can work. Okay, within that is they work in relax of mind. Okay, number two, if I purchased, okay, snacks, coffee, there is official welfare for my employees. Okay, why? Because they have to do for my business activities. I'm in engaging them as a business activities. Okay, whether it is relevance for my business, yes, it is also considered as furtherance to my business. I purchase a raw material. Okay, I purchase a raw material which has been used for my finished goods. Whether it is my furtherance to business, yes, it is my furtherance to the business. I purchase a table for my office purpose. Whether it is a furtherance to my business, yes, it is a furtherance to my business. Okay, so this sectors which has been considered as furtherance to my business. Next, for example, I'm doing survey or some evaluation about myself. Okay, just asking somebody, Mr. X, okay, do evaluate about me. Okay, but what is the market strategy? What is the business strategy? Whether I am eligible to do the market or not eligible to do the market. I'm just asking to do Mr. X. Okay, I'm paying some compensation to him. Okay, he is also raising GST bill to me. Whether it is subject to furtherance to business, yes, it is my furtherance to my business, because I have been understanding my trend, my market, my business, everything I have been understanding. So everything will become sort of scope of business. Right. Now, another scenarios, I appoint a contractor. Okay, I appoint a contractor for cleaning my office. Okay, whether it is subject to furtherance to my business, yes, of course it is a furtherance to my business, because I'm cleaning to my office. Okay, if there is a clean, then only persons are like to work in my office, otherwise they will not like to work in my office. Okay, next one, this every scenarios which has been related to my business, it is subject to what? Okay, furtherance to my business. It might be either direct to my activities or it might be indirect activities. Okay, it might be direct activities or it might be indirect activities. Both are regarded as supply. Okay, that is, it is both. Everything is called as what? Furtherance to the business. Okay, and it is subject to supply. It is subject to what? Supply. Right. Now we are almost understanding about consideration. We are almost understanding about the furtherance to the business. We are also under. Okay, what is not furtherance to the business? What is not furtherance to my business? Okay, for example, I purchase the AC. I install my home. Okay, I install in my home. Then it is not your furtherance to my business. Okay, number two, I add a housekeeper where it has been made to my home. Okay, for my personal purpose. Okay, for my personal purpose, or for director home. Okay, I keep a housemaid through an housekeeping agency. Okay, so I paid a tax with tax, etc., etc. Okay, this is all considered as personal. Okay, it is not considered as furtherance to my business. Furtherance to my business. Okay. So this part, okay, will not consider as furtherance to my business. Clear? So, if you check here, okay, so already we are talking about what? Number 3 scenarios. One is the scope of supply. Number 2, what? Consideration. Number 3, what? Furtherance to the business. Okay, if there is no furtherance to the business, then it is not considered as scope of supply. If there is no consideration, then it will not come to the scope of supply. Then if it is not in this form, then it is also not considered as scope of supply. For example, okay, so here charity to charitable trust, charity to the charitable trust. I am giving a donation to charitable trust. Okay. In such cases where there is no furtherance to my business, I paid a consideration. Okay, there is no furtherance to my business, but I paid some consideration. Whether it is subject to supply? No, it is not subject to supply, because donation, okay, it is not subject to supply. Okay, the same donation, okay, okay, Mr. Yomurthy asking, put a board or hoarding na என்னோட board அங்க வைங்க உங்களோட presence-க்கு வைங்க. So I will give a donation of rupees 1 lakh. I give a donation of rupees 1 lakh. Then it is regarded as supply. To the charitable trust. Okay, because he providing services for keeping the hoarding services. For keeping what? Hoarding services. Okay, the donation is not for charitable. Okay, even though it is for the charitable purpose also, but it is like compensation for this hoarding. Hence, it is regarded as supply. So, if you think about it as a donation, okay, without any activities, without any there is intention, then it is not called as supply. If there is any intention, okay, then it is regarded as supply. Okay, so this is all about your scope of supply under section 7.1a. 7.1a. Now we just moving forward to 7.1b. Okay, we are just going to what? 7.1b. What is section 7.1b? Okay, which is talking about what? Import of services. What is that? Import of services. Okay, it is talking about import of services. Number 2, whether it is furtherance to my business or not furtherance to my business. Okay, FTB is nothing but furtherance to my business. Okay, or not furtherance to my business. Okay, for example, okay, I'm getting a installation services for my machinery in my factory. Okay, it is furtherance to my business. Okay, I'm appointing a person who is from Australia. Okay, he providing some services in India. Okay, some services in India. So it is called as what? Import of services, where it is also having furtherance to my business. Okay, so here it is levy under GST. It is levy under GST. Okay, it is levy under GST. Same scenario, I'm doing my AC installation. So for example, I'm doing some technical installation or interior decorator. Okay, in my home. They providing services. They providing what? Services. It is not by way of goods, it is by way of services, where there is no furtherance to my business. So here they're providing services where? In India. So this is where without there is no furtherance to my business, where consideration paid, it is subject to, comes under scope of supply. Okay, it is subject to consideration of scope of supply. Okay, clear? So here it is not talking about any person, something else. It is talking about what? Import of services and consideration also paid. What? Consideration also paid. Okay, import of services and consideration also paid, but no furtherance to my business. Whether it is furtherance to my business or no furtherance to the business. Okay, whether there is a furtherance to the business or not furtherance to the business, still regarded as supply. Okay, still it is regarded as supply. Hence it will be comes under taxable event. It is leviable under taxable event. Hence it is subject to what? Taxable under GST. It is taxable under GST. Right? Now, okay, now we are discussed about section 7.1a. Okay, 7.1b. 7.1a பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, number 1, form of supply plus consideration plus furtherance to the business. Number 2, 7.1b பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா import of services. Okay, import of services whether, okay, number 2 வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா whether there is with consideration, whether furthers to the business or not furthers to the business. Okay, what is that import of services பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா where the supplier, okay, where the supplier located outside India, supplier were located outside India, recipient in India, recipient were located in India, place of supply of services in India, place of supply of services in India, then it is called as what? Import of services. Then it is called as what? Import of services. Okay, this will come under this particular scenarios. Okay, clear? Right. Next, now, okay, while doing the import of services, there are some 3 logic point. Okay, there is some circular which has been there in case of this particular scenarios. Okay, where import of services made after 1/7/2017 now, after 1/7/2017 now, it is subject to GST. Okay, it is subject to what? GST. Okay, number 2, where import of services made before 1/4/2017 now, then it is levied under respected law. Adana service tax. Okay, respected law. It is not taxable under GST, it is taxable under respected law. Okay, number 3, where import of services partly made before 1/7/2017 and partly made after 1/7/2017, then this is liable under GST, this is liable under service tax. Okay, these are common scenarios. Okay, for your understanding purpose, for your exam purpose. Okay, we also explain these scenarios now. Next, this is all about section 7.1a. Okay, and 7.1b. So 7.1a and 7.1b. Right, now we're just going to see 7.1c. Now we're just going to see what? 7.1c. So 7.1a பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா form of supply. Number 2, consideration. Number 3, furtherance to the business. Furtherance to the business. 7.1a. Okay, 7.1a. 7.1b, which is talking about what? Import of services. Okay, number 2 1 plus consideration. Number 2 what? Consideration, whether it is furtherance to business or not, whether it is furtherance to business or not. Okay, 7.1c, which is talking about patana. Okay, it is subject to schedule 1. Okay, it is subject to what? Schedule 1 plus, okay, it is subject to what? Furtherance to my business. It is subject to what? Furtherance to my business. Okay, it is subject to what? Furtherance to my business, whether consideration received or not. Okay, consideration received or not, whether you are receiving consideration or not. Okay, so in such cases, it is also subject to what? Furtherance to the, sorry, it is subject to what? Supply. It is also comes in the scope of supply. What is that? Schedule 1. What is that? Schedule 1. Okay, so we're going to discuss about schedule 1. So schedule 1, okay, which is talking about number 1. Okay, like permanent transfer or disposal of asset. Permanent transfer and disposal of asset. Okay, meaning, okay, either one or plus, okay, I'm using the word plus. Okay, permanent transfer or and disposal of asset plus, okay, where input tax credit claimed, by input tax code claimed. Okay, now you're even without consideration, okay, it is regarded as supply. It is regarded as supply. Even without consideration, it is regarded as supply. Okay, right. So what it's trying to explain in the sense, for example, I purchased a computer. Okay, I purchased a computer. Okay, within 6 months. Okay, within 6 months, computer is subject to capital asset. Okay, within 6 months, there is computer got damage. Okay, it's scrapped. Okay, I'm going to dispose that asset. I'm going to dispose this asset. Okay, so I have computer. Okay, I have computer. Okay, some computer is in old version. So now I am going to purchase new computer. Now we're going to purchase what? New computer. This old version computer I given by way of donation. By way of what? Donation. Okay, without consideration. Okay, by way of donation. Number 3. Okay, I have any business asset, where such business asset used and it has been transferred to the employee. Okay, transferred to the employee without consideration. Without consideration. So here, in every part, it is subject to what? Without consideration, where all this asset, where you are already taken what? Input tax credit. You already taken what? Input tax credit. Then it is considered as, it will come under scope of supply. Mean, and then okay, for example, I purchased a laptop where ITC availed. Okay, they're trying to explain it is regarded as scope of supply because you have already taken ITC. Now you scrap that asset, which is not means what? It is not used for your business. It is not used for your business. You are transferring that. Then that ITC shall be reversed. ITC shall be reversed. It is considered as scope of supply. Okay, that means what? Where the asset is not being used, subject to provision. That provision we'll see later. Okay, and under rule 46 or 47 or something. Okay, rule 46 or 47. I just not remember right now. Okay, under ITC rules. Under ITC rules. Okay, that is CGST rules la ITC. Okay, CGST rules la under ITC. That we'll see later. Okay, so here what I'm trying to explain, where I already have a ITC. Where it is where I'm eligible, I'm enjoying my claim. Enjoying my what? Claim of ITC. Okay, now you're not using as a business asset now, then you have to reverse that ITC. Reverse that ITC. That is the reason it has been saying that what? It is not, or it is come subject to what? Scope of supply. Number 2. Second example. So I have a raw material. Okay, I have a raw material. Okay, where in the raw material I claimed input tax credit. Now supply that there is now I just sending the goods. Okay, where? Okay, I assume that I purchase the essential products. Okay, now COVID-19. Okay, I'm giving without consideration at free of cost. Okay, I'm donating. In such cases, this is also regarded as supply. That means what? What are the ITC have been claimed that has to be reversed? What are the ITC that has been claimed that has to be reversed? That is a law, that is a concept they are bringing into scope of supply under 71C. Under 71C, right? So here raw material, it is an inventory, it is a business asset. Raw material, it is an inventory, it is a business asset. Laptop is a capital asset, it is also called as what? Business asset. Laptop is a capital asset and it is also called as what? Business asset. So hence, both the scenarios, okay, both the scenarios will become sort of business asset, and hence you are already claimed what? ITC. Now to reverse that ITC, they are bringing this particular scenarios. Okay, to reverse this ITC, they are bringing out this scenario. Clear? Right? Next. Okay, second point, number 2. Okay, so this is schedule 1. Schedule 1 la first point. Schedule 1 la first point. Schedule 1 la first point was the transfer of business asset. Schedule 1 la first point is transfer of business asset. Okay, where without consideration. Number 3, you are already ITC availed. You are already availed what? ITC. Okay. Number 1, it is a business asset. Number 2, without consideration. Number 3, what? ITC already availed. Then it will comes under scope of supply. Okay, it comes under scope of supply. Value will determine later. Value will determine later. Okay, so it will comes under scope of supply. Hence, it is liable to pay tax. That means liable to pay tax. You are going to reverse the ITC. Okay, that is the scenarios. For example, okay. Next, one more example we'll see. Okay, motor car. Motor car is also called as business asset. It's also called as what? Business asset. I dispose this asset. I dispose this asset where motor car is ineligible for ITC. Ineligible for ITC. Okay. For example, director, there is for a company purchase a car which has been given to the director for the official purpose. Okay. The car is ineligible for ITC. Now the car is given to the director at free of cost. At what? Free of cost. Whether whether this comes under scope of supply. Okay, there is a supply. There is a business asset. There is a without consideration where condition ITC not availed earlier. ITC not availed earlier. Hence, it will not comes under what? Scope of supply. This not comes under scope of supply. Okay, this is number one. Number two, if I am a car dealer, okay, if I am a car dealer eligible to take ITC on purchase of motor car. Eligible to ITC on purchase of motor car. This car dealer, okay, because the motor car might be an inventory or might be an asset. Might be inventory or might be an asset. For example, I am pulling the vehicle so that I am just using the vehicle, so it is eligible for ITC by the car, the dealer. Okay. So now, all motor vehicles. Okay. Now what happens is this person already availed ITC. This person already availed what? ITC. He given one motor car to his employee at free of cost. Okay, without any charges. Then it is also there is given for donation. Then it is subject to scope of supply. It is subject to what? Scope of supply. Here is not eligible to take ITC. Here is already taken ITC. When it is not taken ITC now, it will not come under supply. The same example, if it is dealt by the car dealer, then it is subject to what? Scope of supply. I think so. Make it clear, right? We're just moving to next another scenarios in schedule 2. Another scenario in schedule 1. Sorry, another second point in schedule 1. Okay. Now, suppose a goods, okay, transfer between a distinct person. Transfer between a distinct person. Distinct person is so distinct person is nothing but, okay, having a same PAN number but having multiple registration. I already said that Yuvamurthy is having branches in Chennai, you have branches in Coimbatore, you have branches in Delhi, you have branches in Pune, etc. etc. So now Yuvamurthy is registered in Chennai, Yuvamurthy is registered in Pune, Yuvamurthy also registered in Delhi. Okay, all three places he registered. Okay, so all this place, okay, it is registered with the using of Yuvamurthy PAN number. So Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi, all these three persons are called as what? Distinct person. All these three persons are what? Distinct person. Okay, so now if there is any supply of service, if there is a supply of service or goods, supply of services or goods between the distinct person, it is also regarded as supply. It is also regarded as supply. Example, why in the sense? Because Chennai belongs to Tamil Nadu, Mumbai belongs to Maharashtra, Delhi belongs to Delhi. Okay, but this year, when it talks about it is a different state, it is talking about what? Different state. Okay, so here, when I transfer from Chennai to Mumbai or Mumbai to Delhi, what happens is here, this Tamil Nadu government, if we not collect the tax, if it is not regarded as supply now, the Tamil Nadu government will lose its revenue. It loses revenue on such transfer. Hence, Tamil Nadu government will levy tax Okay, that means what? It is called as supply, and it also levy what? Tax on such supply. Levy tax on such supply, even between the distinct person, even between the distinct person, because now it is transferred to Maharashtra. Maharashtra selling goods to what? Pune. Okay, it is between this person. Now, Pune government, Maharashtra government enjoying that enjoying the tax, but Tamil Nadu government will lose. Okay, to avoid this scenarios. Okay, to avoid this scenarios, here when any transfer made between a distant person, one person to another person, one person to another person, in the furtherance to the business, in the furtherance to the business, then it is also regarded as supply. அதாவது எக்ஸாம்பிள் பாத்தீங்கன்னா branch transfer will also call as what? Supply. Okay, value will see separately. Value will see what? Separately. That we'll see in separate topic, but it is called as what? Supply. Suppose now transfer from one place to another place between the distinct person. I'm transferring to my godown. That is also called as what? Supply. Suppose godown in, that is I'm transfer godown, where the godown in Bangalore, but my office place in Chennai, my manufacturer place in Chennai, transfer from Chennai to Bangalore. Okay, this is also regarded as supply, and I am liable to pay on such supply. Okay, I'm liable to pay what? On such supply. That we're just going to see later. Okay, all right. Next, Padina. Okay. Next, Padina. Okay, this is number 2. This is called as what? Number 2. So, in that number 2, we also understand one more scenarios. Okay, so here they are also talking about what? Between related persons or distinct person. Between what? Related persons and distinct person. Now already we understand distinct person having a same PAN number. What is that related person? What is that? Related persons. Okay, here they're trying to explain under related person. Okay, NN Padina. Okay, section 15 they have been explained. Number 1, related persons na such persons or officer or director of another business. Okay, so I am Yuvamurthy, is a proprietor in this particular company. Okay, and I am a director of this particular company. Then I am called as what? Related person. I am called as what? Related person. Number 2, Yuvamurthy is a proprietor and I am the partner of this partnership firm. This is also called as what? Related person. Number 3, when Yuvamurthy, okay, being an employer, okay, where Mr. X is an employee, where he working in, there is he just providing some other services. Okay, this employee, between employer and employee, this person is also called as what? Related persons. This person is also called as what? Related persons. Next, Yuvamurthy has control over 25% on his share. Okay, on his share, that is also called as what? What? Related persons. Okay. Next, Yuvamurthy as controlling. Okay, what? I am controlling Mr. X. Mr. X controlling Mr. Y. So Mr. X controlling Mr. Z. So here Yuvamurthy and Mr. X both are also called as what? Related person. Both are also called as what? Related person, either directly or indirectly. Okay, Yuvamurthy is controlled by Mr. X, and okay, there is Mr. Z also controlled by Mr. X. So Yuvamurthy also controlled by Mr. X, and Yuvamurthy, that is Mr. X, Z also can be controlled by Mr. X. Then this is also called as what? Related person. This person is also called as what? Related persons. Okay. Suppose if it is any business, okay, Yuvamurthy's family members as controlling any business. Okay, between this persons also called as what? Related persons. Okay, so they are all comes under related persons. If any transaction between the related person, any transaction between the related person, that is also considered as what? Supply. That is also called as what? Comes under scope of supply. For example, H company to S company. Yes, it is regarded as supply. S company to H company, it is also regarded as supply. Okay, because it has been controlling over this company more than 25%, it is regarded as supply. Okay, so here These are the scenarios which comes under supply. I explain once again. Proprietor, okay, being a director of any company, then he is called as what? That is proprietor or any person. Okay, here we're just talking about any person who is being director of this company now. Then this company and this person both are related persons. Okay, here this person acting as a partner in this particular firm, this is also considered as related person. Employee-employee relationship, that is also considered as what? Related person. And if this person is controlling over 25% of this share, then this both the persons are called as what? Related persons. Okay. If this person controlling Mr. X and this person is controlling Mr. Z now, okay. So is the Mr. Y and Mr. Z both are related person. Okay. Mr. X controlling Mr. Y, Mr. X controlling Mr. Z, then Y and X Z are also called as what? Related person. We are talking about related person. So any transaction between the related person, then it is liable for, it is liable, it is called as what? Supply, and it is liable under GST. And Mr. Y and his family member controlling this business, okay, then it is also called as what? Related person between Y and this particular person. Okay, so everything will be called as what? Related person. So now to summarize this, okay, any transaction between the distinct person, any transaction between the distinct persons or transaction between the related persons, okay, both are called as what? Both are called as what? Supply. Both are called as what? Supply, because it is it is subject to what? Schedule 1, and it is called as what? Supply. Right. Next, this is number 2 in this particular topic. Again, we'll come back. First one related person, first distant person pathom. Next one related person pathom. Number 3, we're going to understand employer-employee relationship. Employer and employee relationship, whether it is regarded supply or not regarded supply. For example, if employment, okay, and there is employee and employer in the course of employment, in the course of employment, in the course of employment. Okay, so I am Yomurthy is working in, okay, in some company. Okay, I'm being a regular employee. Okay, then the employer and the employee, okay, employer and employee, if any compensation paid to this employee, no GST, nothing but salary. For salary, under this particular, if I'm being a regular employee, if I'm paying such amount, in the sense it is not liable for GST. Number 2, suppose if any contract basis, I'm taking some person as a contract basis. In that cases where I'm paying, that is, they are employed by the company, where employed by the company. Okay, where it has been employed by the company, where employer is paying to this employee, employer is paying to this employee directly, then no GST. Then no GST. For example, they've taken me as a contract, okay, for 1 year, and the employer is paying me as a salary. Okay, when they're paying salary to me, in the sense it is not liable for GST, because it is an employer-employee relationship, and where the salary paid to the employer-employee relationship, it is not subject to GST. Okay. Next, if it talks about in a contract basis, okay, where any manpower consultancy, assume manpower consultancy, and the employer is paying to the manpower consultancy, and manpower consultancy paying to the employee, because this to this, this to this, then it is regarded as supply. Okay, then it is regarded as supply. Okay, here there is no employer, there is no what do you call it, employer-employee relationship, and it is not in subject to employment contract. So here it is subject to GST. So it is subject to what? GST. He has to pay GST. If there is no, not in the course of employment, is liable for GST. It's liable for what? GST. So, for example, I am appointing some survey person. I'm asking him to do some survey or for my business. Okay, also doing some activities. There is no employment contract and all. Okay, I has to do. I will pay in such commission basis, term basis, whatever basis. Okay. So then there is no employer-employee relationship. Here only what? For contract basis. Okay. I mean the income tax for the contract of the contract employer-employee relationship. For the contract, it is not employer-employee relationship. It is subject to what? PGPP. So under PGPP, it is still taxable. Either under the employer-employee relationship, it is taxable under salary. The same scenario is here also, it is applicable. If it is subject to employer-employee relationship and subject to there is in contract of employment, then no GST. If there is no contract of employment, then GST will be levied. GST will be levied. Clear? So this is all about this particular topic, right? Now, again, which is moving forward with another topic called as director. Okay, payment made to the director. When payment made to the director, okay, if suppose he is a managing director, now, okay, there's no employer and employee relationship, because managing director can be appointed in more than one office. So yeah, yes, I have to take it in any in such office also. So there is no employer-employee relationship. Whether GST will be levied? Yes, GST will be levied under reverse charge mechanism, that we'll see later, under reverse charge mechanism. Number one. Number two. Okay, if I am subject to whole-time director. If I'm subject to what? Whole-time director. Whole-time director means I'm employed. There is mean to be employed in that company. I'm only one place I can become as a whole-time director. In such cases, there is a employer and employee relationship. Hence, there is no GST. Okay, hence not liable. No GST and not liable. Hence, no GST and not liable. Number three. Executive director. Okay, I'm taking full control of the business. I'm taking each and every responsibility of my business. I'm taking ultimate control of my business. In such cases, I am having employer and employee relationship. Hence, no GST. Hence, it is not liable for tax. Next, if I'm non-executive director, okay, I'm appointed as a non-executive director. I'm not been a director, and there has not been a director of the. I'm been a director of the company. Like I can charge the fees, or I cannot see the routine business, what is happening, etc., etc. So there is no employer and employee relationship. Okay, hence I am liable for GST under RCM, reverse charge mechanism. Reverse charge mechanism. Last, independent director. Last what? Independent director or nominee director. Independent director is also called as what? Expert. Okay, in any field or something else, they will be appointed as independent director in that company. Okay, nominee director is nothing but the person appointed by a financial institution in such company to manage the funds. Okay, what are the funds which has been given by such institution? Okay, such banking institution or whatever the case may be. For example, Reliance company, where nominee director which has been appointed by the SBI. Okay, that person, if they making any payment to that Reliance to that particular nominee director, okay, there is no employer and employee relationship. Okay, there is no master servant relationship. Hence, okay, it is subject to what? GST. It is liable under reverse charge mechanism. I repeat once again, who are the person will comes under this particular scenarios. Okay, there is employer and employee relationship. Whole-time director and executive director, they both will come to the employee relationship. Hence, no GST. The other three person, like managing director, non-executive director, and independent director or the nominee director, okay, they are not subject to employer-employee relationship or master servant relationship. Okay, where any amount which has been paid to that such director, it is liable under reverse charge mechanism. It is liable under reverse charge mechanism. I think it is clear, right? Now, okay, we almost discussed about employer-employee relationship. In such scenario, we have been discussed in depth. Now we're just going to discuss one more scenario called as what? Okay, if any amount paid by the employer to employee other than salary, other than what? Salary. For example, giving by way of gift. Okay, giving by way of gift or any other scenarios. Okay, in such cases, if it is less than 50,000, no GST. If it is more than 50,000, so less than 50,000, no GST. If it is more than 50,000, then GST will be levied. GST will be levied. Here also under reverse charge mechanism. Here also what? Under reverse charge mechanism. So if it is less than 50,000, no GST. More than 50,000, then GST will be levied. Reverse charge mechanism, one depth papa, ITC and papa. So now we are understanding only supply, whether supply will arise or supply will not arise. Here supply will arise. If it is more than 50,000, then supply will arise. Okay, so hence it is regarded as supply. So this is all about what? Employer and employee. This is the second point. First point, schedule 1 lena pato. Disposal of business asset. Disposal of business asset, where it has been used for the business, etc. Where ITC claimed. Where ITC what? Claimed. Number two, without consideration. Number two, between related parties or between distinct parties. Between related party and between distinct parties. In distinct parties, it also include what? Employee. Okay. We also seen what about the related party relationship. and we are understanding the complete view. Now third, there is, and also we are understanding what gift employees. Okay, we are understanding what gift to employees. Right. Number third, which is going to understand. Okay, third, இது வந்து பார்த்தா schedule 1ல இதுவும் வந்து பார்த்தா schedule 1 supply of goods by a principal to agent, by or to principal or agent, by or to is principal or agent. That means what? Principal. Okay, that means what? Principal will appoint such agent either for receipt or, okay, either for receipt of on behalf of principal, okay, or sale on behalf of principal. There are two scenarios. Okay, either on the receipt of principal or sale of each principal. Seriya? That means when it talks about principal and agent relationship, here also it is regarded as supply. Here also it is regarded as supply. Okay, so even if it is without consideration or with consideration, it is not a problem. It is also subject to supply. For example, okay, principal Maruti Suzuki. Okay, he has a car dealer. Okay, he act like a agent. He's selling on behalf of Maruti agent. Okay, where this person supplying goods. Okay, where consideration not received, or consideration what? Not received. He's sending 100 cars to this particular agent. Where consideration not received, on each sale, that person will be sending to this particular person. Okay, here when it has been happened in such a way, then here this 100 cars, okay, will be regarded as supply, because there is a principal and agent relationship, hence regarded as supply. Clear? So this is number one. This is number one. If it is no principal and agent, then not regarded as supply. Unless otherwise, if it is satisfied that related party transaction or what, that business asset, etc., then only it will be considered supply. Okay, right. Now, because here what happens is, now principal, agent, okay, whether they are subject to principal or agent, agent enna pandram. Okay, this is the person. This is one person. See, principal agent will act like a procurement agent. Principal will act like a procurement agent. So what happened? He act like a procurement agent. He asked Mr. C to supply goods to B. Okay, so he raised in the name of Mr. P. Not in the name of Mr. A. So here he is not acting like a buying or selling agent. Okay, he just find one person and just ask him to sell such scenarios. Any commission paid, that is liable for GST. But here, by the value of goods or services, which has been supplied by C to B, will not consider a supply between P and A. Okay, because P and A will not call us agent. P and A will not call us what? Agent. And the procurement agent, they are just doing what? Procurement services. They are not doing any other services. Hence, it will not comes under this particular scenario at all. Okay. Hence, here it is not regarded as supply. Hence, it is not regarded as supply. Clear? Now, this is number one. Okay, number one. Number two. Okay, number two. If we act like an auctioneer, act like an auctioneer. Say there is agent. It's not an agent. Actually, I'm just putting a P. Okay, P is selling goods through this auctioneer, and C has been purchased. He's just doing only auctioneer services. He's just doing only what? Auctioneer services. With the auctioneer services and just doing that. Okay, online services, order services, and C has been purchased directly from P. Okay, here the supply between P and C and not between, okay, P and A. Not between P and A. It is not regarded as supply. So here it is not considered as supply. Okay, it is not regarded as supply. If you act like a Procurement agent, it is not regarded as supply. If you act like a normal, there is an auctioneer, it is not regarded as a supply. Right. Next, number 3. Okay. So P, okay, A, okay, and C. What happened? A act like a commission agent. A act like a commission agent, where principal directly supplying to C. Principal supplying to directly to C. Okay, agriculture produce or whatever the case may be. Okay, and principal itself directly billing to C. Now, then this is not regarded as supply. Only the commission which has been paid, that is called as what? Supply. Only the commission which has been paid, that is regarded as supply. That means what? A will raise bill to P and P will not raise to bill to A. Okay, so this is regarded as supply. That means what? From this, what you are understanding now, if P and A, okay, where between P and A should issue invoice. A should what? Issue invoice, and what? P will issue invoice to A. Then there is a principal and agent relationship. Okay, then there is a principal and agent relationship. I repeat once again. If A issue invoice to, sorry, P is in issue invoice to A, okay, and A is issue invoice to the buyer. A is issue invoice to the buyer, okay. Then this is called as what? Principal and agent relationship, where between P and A it is called as what? Supply, even without consideration. Even without consideration, right? So here A and B is a different set, a different supply, okay, right? This is number 1. If P is raising invoice to C, okay, P is raising invoice to C and not to A, then P and A is not called as agent. Okay, then Schedule 1 will not applicable. Schedule 1 will not applicable because there is no agent relationship. Schedule 1 will not applicable, and because P is different person, A is a different person. Both are in different scenarios. Both are in different scenarios. So here it will not be comes under this particular topic at all. Right. So now, okay, now, okay, right. Now, if you see, if there is any agent, principal and agent relationship, then it is regarded as supply. If there is no principal agent and principal, then it is not regarded as supply if it is not made without consideration. Okay, clear, right? For example, I am keeping my there is okay, sorry, fine. Now we understand what 7. We understand, okay, 7.1 C schedule 1 இப்ப நம்ம பார்த்துன்னு இருக்கிறோம். When you're talking about schedule 1, okay, we are talking about what? Number 1, what? Permanent transfer or disposal of business asset, okay, business asset without consideration, okay, but ITC availed. Number 1, ITC availed. Number 2, okay, between related person, okay, between distinct person, okay, between related person and between distinct person, okay, when there is an employer and employee, okay, where gift or whatever the case may be, if it is more than 50,000, okay, then it is also considered as supply. Number 3, principal to agent, okay, it is also considered as supply. The agent act on behalf of principal either for buying or selling of such goods. Agent will raise invoice separately and principal will raise invoice to agent. Okay, so this is the principal and agent relationship, right? Next, with effect from 1 to there is the year number 4 patina. Last, we're just going to discuss import of services. Okay, import of services between related person. Between what? Related person, which is furtherance to the business. Which is what? Furtherance to the business. Because if I have taking for my personal purpose, it is not liable for tax. If it is between this scenarios and between this particular scenarios, and where it is a furtherance to my business, between related person, where I am making import of services. For example, I have a branch at Australia. Okay, he doing some services in India. Okay, when he provides services in India, suppose repairs and maintenance in India, he coming to India where I will not pay any consideration, where I will not pay any consideration. Still, it is called as what? Taxable. That is, it is called as what? Comes under scope of supply and is subject to what? Taxable supply. But here it is subject to furtherance to my business. Furtherance to my business. Okay. Number two, if I have a branch, okay, Yomurthy as a branch, there is he is in India. He have a branch in Singapore. Okay, so this person's doing some services activities for his residence purpose. For his residence purpose, where there is no furtherance to my business, where there is no furtherance to my business, he providing services to me, then it is not regarded as supply. It is not regarded as supply. Clear? இங்க என்னன்னா between related person where there is a furtherance to the business ன்றது ஒரு additional condition வந்தாதான் supplyல வரும். Otherwise it will not comes under supply. It will not comes under supply. To summarize this, okay, to summarize this, we have to see two provisions. Section 71B and 71C. 71B and 71C. 71B என்ன சொல்றேன்னா import of services. Import of services plus consideration. What plus consideration? Consideration receive பண்ணாவே whether for my furtherance, there is whether it is for my furtherance to my business or not furtherance to my business, it is regarded as what? Supply. It is regarded as what? Supply. Okay. Number two, இங்கே பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா there is a import of services between related person. Between what? Related person. Okay, if it is furtherance to the business, okay, என்ன சொல்றேன், இங்க என்ன சொல்றேன்னா consideration not received. Consideration what? Not received. If it is furtherance to the business, then it is called as what? Supply. Okay, if it is not furtherance to the business, then it is not regarded as supply. Clear? Clear? Right? 71B import of services, 71C import of services. Okay, inge between any person. Between any person. Okay, inge between one the related person. Okay, or between distinct person. Between related persons or distinct person. Okay, inge பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா consideration received. இங்க பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் consideration received. இங்க consideration not received. Okay, whether or not received. Okay, next வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இங்க if it is furtherance to my business, it is called a supply. If it is not furtherance to my business, okay, it is also called as what? Supply. It is also called as what? Supply. Okay, இங்க consideration not received. Okay, if it is furtherance to my business, என்னோட official purpose காக நான் பண்றேன், என்னோட repairs and maintenance for my official purpose or some other scenarios na, then supply will arise. If it is not furtherance to my business, நான் என்னோட service என் வீட்டுக்காக நான் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். Okay, என் வீட்டுக்காக பண்றேன். Okay, so நான் ப்ரொப்ரைட்டர் என்னோட பிரான்ச் அங்க இருந்து ஒரு பர்சன் நான் இங்க கூட்டு வந்து என் வீட்டுல சின்ன ரிப்பேர் இருக்கப்போ மற்ற விஷயங்கள் பண்ணப்பா கன்சிடரேஷன் கிடையாதுன்னா, ஓகேவா, then okay, then it is not regarded as supply. என்ன சிம்பிளா ஒண்ணுமே இல்லம்மா, நான் என்னோட ஆளை வச்சு நான் பண்றேன்னா, என்னோட ஒரு கொத்தனார் இருக்கிறான், என் வீட்டுக்கு வந்து ஒரு வேலை பாடுறான்றேன், அவன் வந்து சிங்கப்பூர்ல இருக்கிறான், சிங்கப்பூர்ல இருந்து வந்து இங்க ஒரு வேலை பாக்குறான், ஓகே, இன்டீரியர் வேலை எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துட்டு போடுறான். நான் எனக்கே நான் பே பண்ணுவேனா? நான் பே பண்ண மாட்டேன். பிகாஸ் என்னோட அவன் இஸ் ஆக்டிங் லைக் மை எம்ப்ளாயி, ஓகே, இஸ் இன் மை கம்பெனி. I will not pay for my such scenario. That is not regarded as supply. அதனால தான் சொல்ல வரேன். If it is not furtherance to my business, it is not regarded as supply. If it is furtherance to my business, it is regarded as supply. இங்க அப்படி கிடையாது. ஏன்னா consideration received, okay, then it is furtherance to supply. If consideration received na, then it will come under this scenarios and it is subject to furtherance to supply. And it is subject to what? In the particular topic போய்டும். இங்க வந்து பார்த்தா it is between any person, whether it is a related person or distant person, whatever topic. If a consideration is received, whether for the business or not for the business, then it is considered as supply. For example, okay, I am paying to my Singapore branch. I am paying to my Singapore branch where consideration comes na, then it is not subject to section 71C. Okay, it will come under section 71B. So hence it is regarded as supply. Whether it is for my business or not for my business, it is regarded as supply. Clear? Think clear? Right. Fine. Next. Now we almost complete a topic called 71A, 71B, 71C. Okay, now we're just going to discuss 71. Okay, 71 capital A. 71 capital A. What is 71 capital A பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, it is talking about what? Schedule 2. It is talking about what? Schedule 2. Okay, it is clearly explained that என்ன சொல்ல வரான்னா, okay, now if it is anything which is mentioned in the schedule 2, they have been clearly saying that okay, it is subject to supply of goods or supply of services. Earlier என்னன்னா, it has been referred in schedule 2 ன்றமே சொல்லிருந்தாங்க. இப்போ என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா, it will be treated as supply of services, supply of goods or supply of services. அப்படி clearly explain பண்ணிட்டாங்க. For example, if I transfer the title of goods, if I transfer the title of goods, if I transfer title of goods now, then it is supply of goods. It is not considered supply of services. Number one. Number two, if I not transfer title, if I not transfer title, okay, I'm asking the right to use, okay, right to use of such goods, okay, or okay, it should be, that means what? It should be come in future to me now. It is not goods, it is called as what? Supply of services. It is called as what? Supply of services. Number two, okay, land and building. They are differentiating land and building. Okay, if you're giving by way of lease, if you're giving by way of tenant, okay, if you're giving by way of license to occupy, okay, if you're giving by way of letting out, okay, if you're giving by way of what? Any other scenarios, okay, any other scenario with regards to this land and building, it is not considered as goods, it is considered as services. It is called as what? Supply of services. Supply of services. Okay, supply of goods, supply of services. Next, any treatment process, any treatment process, any with regards to the raw material, with regards to the any other scenarios, okay, with regards to my business asset, whatever the cases, if there is a treatment process, it is not considered as goods, it is called as what? Supply of services. It is called as what? Supply of services. Next, okay, if you transfer the business, transfer the business in going concern, transfer the business in going concern, na, it is not regarded as supply. So okay, now because transfer to transfer is okay, when you transfer the business, okay, any disposal of asset, any disposal of asset, okay, any disposal of asset, okay, where transfer the title, by the transfer the title, na, it is called as goods and not considered as services. It is not considered as services. Okay, I'm not transferring any goods, I'm not transferring any goods, okay, I'm not transferring any title, okay, but I'm asking, but I'm disposing the goods for utilizing this, for that they are paying some amount. In the sense, it is not considered as goods, it is considered as services. It is considered as services. Okay, so here, if going concern business transferred na, it is not regarded as supply. Going concern business transfer பண்றாங்கன்னா, it is not regarded as supply, because transfer relationship வரும், amalgamation ல வரும். So it is not regarded as supply, hence not taxable. Hence it is not taxable. If the business has been taken over by the legal representative, it is also not considered as supply, and it is not taxable under GST. It is not taxable under GST. Right. Next and badina. Okay, suppose if you are, it is called as what? Supply of services. Renting of immovable property. Renting of immovable property, it is not considered as goods, it is considered as services. Construction services. Construction services பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, construction services பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, any erection, commissioning, any erection, commissioning, installation, okay, or any issue, there is any some other services with regards to this particular business, work contract services, etc. It is not considered as goods, it is considered as supply of services. It is considered supply of services. Okay, next, in temporary transfer or enjoying right, then it is not considered as goods, it is considered as services. Next, any development or design or programming or customization or adaptation, okay, with regards to software. Previously there is a confusion whether it is a services or whether it is a goods and or confusion into the, it is not regarded as services. Okay, so it is not regarded as goods, it is regarded as services. Clear? Next வந்து composite supply. Composite supply பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் again, okay, with regards to work contract, if both goods and services involved, then it's not considered as goods, it is considered as services. It is not considered as goods, it is considered as services. Okay, next, if it is only supply of goods, if it is only a supply of goods which is a principal supply now, then it is considered as goods, not regarded as services. Okay, இங்க என்ன சொல்ல வராங்கன்னா, it has been clearly explaining what is goods, what is services, and it has been clearly mentioned what are the subject to goods and what are subject to services. It has been clearly mentioned here. Okay, right now, okay, so this is all about section 7.1. This is all about section 7.1 we have discussed. Okay, this is all about what? Section 7.1 we have been discussed. Clear? Any doubt? Section 7.2. Okay, supply excludes. It is not considered as supply. Number 1. Okay, so schedule 2, if now we have been discussed. Okay, schedule 1 we already discussed. Now we just going to discuss, okay, 7.2. In this case, okay, supply excludes list of activities mentioned in schedule 3. List of activities which has been mentioned in schedule 3. Number 1. Okay, list of activities has been mentioned in schedule 3. This is number 1. Number 2. Okay, as recommended by the GST Council. Okay, certain supply which is not regarded as, okay, certain things which is not regarded as supply. If it is recommended by the GST Council, it is not regarded as supply. These are the 2 points. Number 1, number 2. Okay, what is this schedule 3? What is the schedule 3? Because this is not regarded as supply. It is not regarded as supply. So, number 1, Patana. Okay, when there is a employer and employee relationship, okay, in the course or in relation to the employment. For example, I am employed as an account manager. I am doing GST services. I am providing all types of services. I am providing management services. I am giving accounts, etc., etc. So here, employer-employee relationship, in the sense the employee as doing services, employer paying money now. Here it is not regarded as supply because it is a negative. That is, it is comes under schedule 3 negative list. It is not regarded as supply. Clear? So Mr. A is working in that organization and Mr. B is the employer. B is paying to A by services available from Mr. A. Okay, that is not regarded as supply. Number 1. Okay, already we have mentioned about the gift. If it is subject to gift, okay, it is regarded as supply. Okay, so if it is more than 50,000, otherwise it is not regarded as supply. Number 2, if any services provided by court or tribunal, assumed, okay, I running a company, where the company, okay, it is subject to some litigation. Okay, I am approaching to the court. Okay, when I am paying to the advocate fees, I am paying to the the consultancy fees, that and all subject to taxable. If I paid any fees to the court, any fees to the tribunal for their services, I am availing from court or tribunal now, then it is subject to what? Okay, then it is subject to, then it is not considered as supply. Then it is not considered as supply. That means what? Supply exclude when any services provided by the court or tribunal is not regarded as supply. Right. Next, Number 3, if supply made by member of parliament, supply made by whom? Member of parliament, supply made by whom? Member of parliaments and others, member of others, for example member of state legislature. Okay, so those person, okay, they are providing services on behalf of the government, okay, where the government is paying to the members of parliament for the services which has been public, which has been elected by the public. Okay, those person when providing services to the government, okay, it is not regarded as supply. It is not regarded as supply. This is also schedule 3. 4, okay, services by way of funeral or burial. Okay, funeral or burial. For example, in there is, you heard about this funeral place. Okay, funeral place என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, பாடி எல்லாம் எரிப்பாங்க இல்ல மற்ற விஷயங்கள்லாம் பண்ணுவாங்க. Okay, so in that cases any payment which has been made to the funeral services, okay, that is not considered as supply, because இது வந்து because இறப்புக்கு அப்புறம் வந்து that particular scenario which is not services. Okay, அதே மாதிரி if they providing some burial services, if they providing what burial services, that is also not considered as supply. Okay, that is also not regarded as supply. Okay, next, number 5. Number 5 was the sale of land. You Murthy selling a land to, okay, Mr. Kishore. Okay, then that sale of land is not called as supply. I am also selling with building, that is also not regarded as supply. Okay, construction services or renting of services or license, lease, etc., etc., that will comes under services. That will comes under services, and it is also leviable. Okay, it is also leviable under supply. But when you're selling a land or building, it is not called as what? Supply, and it is excluded from supply. Right. Next, any auctionable claim. Auctionable claim. For example, okay, I made a supply. Okay, where I made a supply. Okay, in such cases, if there is any penalty or whatever the case may be, in such scenarios, okay, the auctionable claim will not be levied. Okay, it is not considered as supply. It is not considered as supply. Right. So when there is any auctionable claim, then it is not regarded as supply, except padina, it is subject to what? Lot, except what? Lottery and or betting or gambling. Lottery, betting or gambling. Suppose assume that auctionable claim padina, okay, it is assume that it is one type of debt which has been making to such person which is not fulfill the contract, okay, paying such person for the tolerance or whatever the case maybe, that is called as what? Auctionable claim, and it is liable for it is not liable for GST. Right. Next, point number 7. Okay, so if any person supplies from the non-taxable territory, to any other non-taxable territory, Australia to Singapore. Okay, Australia to Singapore. Whether it is regarded as supply? No, it is not regarded as supply. No, it is not regarded as supply. Between non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory, it is not regarded as supply. Clear? Right? So next one, Marina. Next, இது புதுசா இன்சர்ட் பண்ண செக்ஷன், இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் செக்ஷன். இட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ தேர் இன் யுவர் கஸ்டம்ஸ். இட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ தேர் இன் யுவர் கஸ்டம்ஸ் when you discuss. that is இது வந்து சிஎம்இ இன்டர் கஸ்டம்ஸ்க்கு வரும், பட் இங்க வந்து ஜிஎஸ்டில இங்க வரும் சிஏக்கு. ஓகேவா? சோ இதுல ரெண்டு விஷயம் சொல்லி இருக்கிறாங்க. என்ன சொல்லி இருக்கிறாங்கன்னா, okay, if any goods came to the warehouse, okay, till the goods it is in warehouse, okay, till the goods it has been warehouse, okay, it is not considered as supply. It is not considered as that is, it is not considered as supply under customs or IGST, CGST, whatever case may be. So here, when it is cleared, okay, to home consumption, when it is clear to home consumption, then only that import of goods will arise, then only supply will arise, If it is not clear for home consumption, okay, it is not clear for home consumption, but it has been exported to any other country, it is not entering into the India itself, then it is not regarded as supply. For example, Mr. A, okay, getting goods from Singapore, the goods has been reached in Singapore, and now the goods, okay, not cleared for home consumption by Mr. A. Okay, till it is clearing for home consumption, it is not considered as goods. Now it is in warehouse. Now it is in warehouse. From the warehouse, is just selling to Malaysia. From the warehouse, it has been selling to Malaysia. So it is not entering to the India. Okay, hence it is not regarded as supply. Hence it is not regarded as supply. This is number one. Number two, in the point number 8, where goods coming from Singapore. In Singapore itself, I'm asking to send the goods to Malaysia. Okay, this is also not considered as supply. This is also not considered as supply, where import of goods or IGST will not be leviable under this particular scenarios. Clear? So this is all about section 7.2. This is all about section 7.2. Okay, right? The last point under 7.1 and 7.2, that is 7.1, 7.2, 7, this particular scenarios is number 1. 7.3 okay, government itself, okay, that is the GST council, okay, may recommend certain supply, it is called as what? Goods. Certain supply, it is called as what? Services. Certain supply, it is called as what? Goods. Certain supply, it is not, it is called as what? Services. Here it is not called as services. Here it is not called as goods. Okay, it has been recommended by the GST council. It has been recommended by the GST council. This is all about section 7.3. Okay, this is all about what? Section 7.3. This is all about section 7. This is all about section 7. Okay, right?